Coming up on today's wrestling news, an AEW star shockingly retires.
A WWE superstar getting major praise backstage.
WWE owns Edge.
And a social media star has been confirmed for AEW Full Gear.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the news. A shocking retirement, Michael Hamflett starts off with.
Is it?
No, it's all work. But it's Slow News Day, and I really like Toni Storm. So we're starting off with her because apparently she's leaving pro wrestling.
Right.
She was doing an interview with SB Nation. Obviously, she's lost the World Championship to Mariah May at All In. Lost in New Japan, lost in CMLL as well. And said, basically, there's nothing left for her in the sport. Goodbye, everybody. I'm retiring. She apologised to her fans for being such a failure. Oh. No need to apologise. You're not a failure to us, Toni. Adding that they won't be seeing her in AEW, New Japan, CMLL, or anyone else because she's not used to being a loser. She's failed at everything. I lost in AEW, I lost in Japan, lost in Mexico. This is the last you'll hear from me, Toni said. Enjoy Mariah May as your champion. You can all enjoy that. Apparently, this is also news to Tony Khan because this interview with SB Nation was apparently the way he was going to find out about her retiring from pro wrestling. She continued, AEW is just fine without me. Everything's going well for AEW. They don't need Toni Storm. When asked if there was anything she'd change about her career, a moment in time she might go back to, she had a very obvious answer. When I met Mariah May, she says, I've been on the top of the world for many, many years. I delivered. Then Mariah May came onto the scene and everything went tits up. She concludes by saying, chin down, tits in, don't bother watching for the shoe. That's it. No more Toni Storm.
Can you just go back and read that bit? There was something about AEW is fine and it'll be fine without Toni Storm. It was three things she said.
AEW is just fine without me. Everything's going well for AEW. They don't need Toni Storm.
I mean, that's three lies, isn't it? That's three lies. And the fourth one,
along with the other one being
that she's not retiring. Yeah. No, it's all about the fun, this, isn't it? Toni Storm did that brilliant. There's that fantastic video package where she would document the defeats, and then it was and Toni Storm was never seen again. And then she's wrong, and she was never seen again. So she's having some fun with this.
She's going to show up at Full Gear, isn't she?
Possibly. Yeah, it's a celebration.
She's crashing the Mina.
But sort of long-awaited Mariah May title celebration that seemingly has been delayed as part of when Mina Shirakawa was available. Yeah. They kind of brought those three together just before Mariah May turned on Toni Storm, and that hasn't been acknowledged yet where Mina sits about what happened with all of that, I suppose. So we'll see that potentially as early as this weekend. Toni Storm was doing the promo, understandably, for the big AEW show in Australia early next year. There wasn't anybody that I could see in the building with Toni. So it sounds like she's short on a couple of friends.
Yeah, she's got no fucking mates. Sorry to our editor.
But indeed, can we put one of them hats with the corks dropping down over Wilborn's mouth to obscure the lip flap there, please? But yeah, it's a work. She's going to be coming back soon. It's a bit of fun, and Toni Storm knows how to generate conversation with this character, and I think it's been quite remarkable that in the other matches she's lost post-Wembley, she's able to say something like this, put herself right back in the conversation and right back in the title picture by saying, I don't want any of it anymore.
Yeah, I think it's noted that obviously you've got Chris Statlander's challenge for the TBS title. There's stuff going on with Julia Hart and Jamie Hayter. Mariah May, aside from Mina Shirakawa, who, unless she does a real rapid turn, isn't going to be fighting for the title anytime soon. Although I'd like to see that in the future. So I can easily foresee, I don't know, they've got a big cake in the ring to celebrate, and out pops Toni Storm out of that or something, or I don't know, Mina's doing a little thing, and Mariah's like, how's mine? She's like, no, you need to do it more. You need to put your tits out more. And cue Toni Storm.
Nice, and then instead of raining balloons, it rains shoes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, and it'd be great. Genuinely, earnestly be great.
I miss her.
Yeah, she's the ace of that division, and it's all of its history, really. But we go from beloved to be fab. Aha! Because, the former Hit Row, current Street Profits manager is kind of survived a lot of ups and downs in her WWE run over the last few years, relatively short as it has been. There's been a lot of changes and a lot of things going on in that career. However, she has impressed people backstage. This is per Fight for Select, talking specifically about the match she had on last Friday's SmackDown in the United States title tournament against Bayley and Candice LeRae. Now, of course, there are worse people to be in the ring with than those two when you're trying to sort of show up and show out, but B-Fab certainly did. Like, we sort of talked a bit more in detail about this on our SmackDown review podcast, which you can get on our YouTube channel. But Fightful Select have come through with some more details about how generally backstage people agreed with that fan consensus that B-Fab had a really great night. The story mentioned that she'd been going to the Heart Dungeon, the new Heart Dungeon, as ran by Tyson Kidd and Natalya. She's one of their most frequent visitors, the report noted, and that she's been anxious to wrestle more. And obviously, we saw that she had her own kind of gear and vibe and aesthetic and everything beyond simply being the Street Profits manager. Been doing tag team matches on the overseas tour of late, and has obviously done well enough to get more opportunities on screen. The quote from a WWE source speaking to the Fightful Select report said, quote, "Her initiative goes a long way. She's been called up, released, brought back, put with a different group. She's going above and beyond to make herself as available, useful and versatile as she can, and always has a good attitude." That comes from a WWE producer. Yeah, this is, I don't know, we'll see where this goes. Both the Street Profits and B-Fab feel like they've kind of finally got some direction on SmackDown. It's overdue for both, really, whether they're together or separate. But this feels a little bit, dare I use these words, still, brass ringy.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for talent to sort of go and grab that and seize the opportunity and all that kind of cliched nonsense that used to mean nothing once upon a time. I would sort of classify the last couple of weeks for both B-Fab and the Street Profits as them doing that. It's like some sort of opportunity thought, we're having all of this, we're taking the lot.
Yeah, you're right, keeping her on her toes. Are you enjoying NXT? What's up to the main roster? Alright, you've been released. Alright, been brought back, but in a completely different capacity, and now you're with the Street Profits. And Bobby Lashley, no Bobby Lashley, actually, just you and Street Profits. But I got to echo what you said about that match on SmackDown. I know it was sort of designed to showcase her skills. We all anticipated that Bayley was going to win that one.
Agent it around.
Makes sense in the US title tournament that they've got going on to have Bayley going on to the later stages. But yeah, they really showcased B-Fab in that match. She got to shine. Like you say, two great people to be in there with Bayley and Candice LeRae. I think I mentioned on the podcast, she's got about 20 matches on her cage match, which is incredible to have her wrestling, on Friday Night SmackDown after that little amount of matches. But real promising talent, I think, B-Fab, and congratulations to her. Very nice to hear that she's getting quite rightly getting the respect and the congratulations she deserves.
Agree.
Right, let's move on and talk about Edge.
Yes.
The word and maybe the person.
The vibe?
Possibly. Not the Edge.
The guitarist?
He's still all on his own in U2.
Right, okay.
But apparently on Tuesday, WWE filed to trademark the term Edge. The purpose listed includes wrestling exhibitions and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer. So Edge is coming back to WWE, ladies and gentlemen, or WWE are either planning to do something with the word Edge, probably not, or just trying to prevent Adam Copeland from using that word or name anywhere else. Obviously, Adam Copeland's still out with injury after shattering his leg. I don't know what his time frame is on coming back, but there was literally just a list that came out on this channel about 22 AEW wrestlers and when they are due to return. Now he features on that as well.
He's doing great things with Dax at the moment as part of the hurricane relief.
Yes, that's a good point to mention. But yeah, presumably WWE trying to make sure he cannot use Edge anywhere, AEW or anywhere else, basically. But I don't think that really matters. It's not like people go, who the hell's Adam Copeland?
No, and this is the thing, I think he was one of those, because he'd been, for the most part at least, in a mainstream setting, a lifer with WWE, and he had Edge as his name all that time. It was initially a bit odd getting used to, they've got the Rated R Superstar and they've got the music. They had Beth Phoenix do the thing at the top rather than the old WWE one. So they were able, I think, to get kind of the best case scenario without outright having Edge, and that might have been the only thing they would have thought to add. This reminds me of, and again, ultimately this is how it goes. If ultimately an AEW star ended up in WWE, you would kind of expect a similar thing to happen. Where it's no, that's kind of our version of the character. You get what you get, but that's it. It reminds me of when Cody got Rhodes back. If you go back and watch the first
Cody and Brandy Rhodes, they had to call them for ages, didn't they?
I think it was the first few months of Dynamite where he was still keyed as Cody, and then sort of Rhodes got snuck back in as and when it became available. I forget quite how the wranglings shut down with that one, but the same here. I guess if it had been available, or maybe Adam Copeland had kept an eye on it, that sort of thing, maybe they could have gone for it. Always makes me think, and I don't know if this is an urban myth, because this is a pre-internet playground story that you could probably just go and check now. some like some canny fella, like bought Nike for a day.
Yes.
Something. Remember that? Like that sort of like did the rounds. Like let us know in the comments below if that's even true. But yeah, I remember the story of like midnight, fine, and then like just made millions off it, selling it back to them. It's like, oh, you're Nike, are you? All right, okay. So this is one of them things where maybe if Adam Copeland was looking for it, it'd stop them getting it. And like, you know, you think about things like the merch and
I was going to say,
Hall of Fame comes around. It's going to be WrestleMania season. There's, you know, there's Rumble like highlight and stuff. If people are digging into that kind of career, WWE just might want the coffers off.
Yeah, it's something and nothing. This, you know, it could be a real nasty thing that WWE's doing to be like, no, you can't use Edge anywhere, despite the fact that anyone goes, why does Adam Copeland look familiar? And everyone just goes, oh, he's Edge in WWE. Maybe it's them wanting to do something with the legacy of Edge within WWE, whether it be some sort of with the games or some, I don't know, some app bullshit. I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know. I never know. But
poo emoji on that one, please.
Yes. It's one of those things where it is WWE's thing, but it's weird for him to not be able to say, I'm Edge in AEW. Don't really matter, does it?
He just says, I'm Adam, and it's the most normal thing, so maybe you should just start saying I'm Edge, and we'll forget that you're Adam as well. Either way. Look, we've talked about some pretty big stars in the world of wrestling on this news.
We
sure
sure have.
About one more, shall we?
Yes. Oh, there's a crumb to be gobbled up here.
It might be a crumb from a double joke, okay. Because the Rizzler, you know the one, the little guy in there who's been hanging around with AJ Boom and Big Sadness, the Costco,
Big Justice,
the Costco fellas,
Costco guys, yeah.
They were on Dynamite last night. I think this is all pretty funny actually. Like it's not really generated at that sort of anger, so it seems anyway, as far as the marketing overlap goes. Let's do the story first, I guess. If you've never heard any of these people before, fame from...
I hadn't until about a month ago.
Like massive online fame from a bunch of Costco TikToks they made that they've been able to like sort of like stretch out into like making music videos and doing other TikToks and I guess getting to do what they want. And
doing massive numbers, yeah.
Like I always get the names mixed up. AJ...
Big Boom AJ.
Big Boom, thank you. I was going to call him AJ Boom. Big Boom AJ was a wrestler at one point in his life, and then obviously he's found this new fame with this, and he's like, I fancy getting back into this. He'd done an interview where he'd said, like, apparently, like, he'd reached out to WWE, they weren't too interested. Obviously, it's come together with AEW. Mm-hmm. He's doing a pre-show match at Full Gear over the weekend with QT Marshall. That's going to be exactly as good as you think it will be in your head. Yeah. But it's been a good bit of, like, promotion for AEW. They were on Jimmy Fallon, kind of making a mug out of him, trying to make a mug out of them. It was one of the things that kind of like, boom! Yeah, it's on your booms, eat your biscuits, get out.
NFTs to sell.
Peanut butter in, yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. Like, it's all very sort of like nice, light-hearted stuff. They appeared on Rampage last night. Big Boom AJ had like the cookie tights on. He was good. Like all gimmick. They're completely leaning in. QT Marshall's done like a song in response to their
diss track.
A diss track, yeah. Like
bring the doom.
Like Big Boom AJ's son, Big Sadness, is there as well.
Big Justice.
He's there on screen with him. He's like, Dad, yeah, let's get him. And the Rizzler, who is like this lad that sort of hangs around with he's not a member of the family, is he?
No, I don't think
know where they found him, but
I think he's mates with Big Justice.
Right, so the Rizzler, he's this little guy in there, and he's with them, and they announced on Dynamite last night that he as well is going to be part of whatever this is on the Full Gear pre-show. So if you're these guys, you'll be buzzing the Riz. It kind of like completes the set. It's like it's like Hall and Nash revealing Hogan at Bash at the Beach 1996 for TikTok.
I mean, and Hulk Hogan did go.
Indeed he did. Indeed he did, yeah. So expect the Rizzler to drop a little big leg on QT Marshall. They're going to win, aren't they?
I think this is the oldest we've felt on this news. Just talking about
I like
TikTokers.
It though. I like it. I think if you're kind of like, are we not sort of well past the point where we need to be like purists, real ball-knowing losers about this sort of stuff?
Not
it's
the
like,
same level.
As far as like
Logan Paul,
yeah, like as far as celebrity cashing stuff goes, these are like massively over with a portion of the demographic. They have almost nothing to do with the rest of the product. This Dynamite last night was the first time that it even appeared on camera for AEW. Everything else has been online.
We mentioned on the news, by the way, that was never actually planned. It was always going to be like, no. They're very respectful, and AEW like, we don't want to take up too much TV time on this. It's just a fun little, like you say, fun little 0-hour thing. But they've impressed so much getting press for this sort of thing and respecting the business.
He respects it, but he goes like he gives you the time, the date. He's a ticket selling. He's an old pro.
Yeah,
there's that sort of inner carny within him. I think it's all good stuff. This.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like it's harmless. People were shouting "boom" on Rampage, weren't they?
They were
when they came out. I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Hamflet shared a thing on it on his Twitter at Michael Hamflet. If you want to go and check that out,
decide for yourself.
But it's one of those things. I think nowadays celebrity involvements are very different from when Jeremy Piven used to talk about the Summerfest.
Oh god, the guest host. Yeah, exactly. Guest host era was as bad as it got.
Yeah,
I lived through every single friggin' one of them. Whereas a lot of fun.
You know, it's not exactly comparable because Logan Paul's Logan Paul, but Logan Paul didn't come in like, I'm going to shill some prime and get out of it. Like, he's an athlete. He's brilliant in the ring. I think he's been sensational. And it's, Big Boom AJ, like you say, has got history in wrestling. So it just makes, like, sense in terms of promotion to try and get them tied in so people go, what's all this full gear about? And then maybe they watch the November 8th, I'm going to get this show, etc., etc. And now the Rizzler's going to be involved, which is also a thing which we didn't know about until about a month ago.
Are we getting chicken pigs after we finish recording this? This works, doesn't it?
I want a Costco card. Yeah. This is unrelated to the Costco guys. I went to Costco for the first time about 2 or 3 months ago, and let me be honest, Christmas came early for me. Costco, if you want new Costco guys, ready? Boom! We'll happily do it for you.
Get the laptop.
Okay. Costco. Boom! We'll be the new Costco guys.
Yeah.
So get in touch if you want.
You've been foolish not to.
That's annoying. Like people like who do proper jobs get these Costco, and we're not influencers enough.
What's that about?
Hello,
Costco. Boom. Costco feels the closest to shopping in America that you get here in the UK. I walked in and I
could not believe what I was looking at.
Yeah,
and I haven't even gone since presumably they've hoided up. It was all Halloween stuff when I went in.
I need a Costco. I might ask for one for Christmas. I want a Costco card for Christmas. Can somebody get me? It's
under the tree. To Michael. Boom.
It's
from
the gift
Santa.
that money cannot buy because I don't qualify for one. So I want one.
Apparently, I'm not quite good enough to be a lawyer or whatever jobs you have to get these sorts of things.
Apparently, I mean, look at me. Does it not look like I've had my fair share of double drug?
Don't doctors get it though? And Dr. Fed's right here.
That's a good point.
We've got her in.
Consult my paperwork on that.
Right, let us know your thoughts on that and everything in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and while you're at it, why not check out this video? Boom! Right here.